are these people?
Hey guys, it's Yeti coming at you. Just want to give you a quick update on where things are with the YetiLines, my life in general. Um, First off, I want to give a congratulations out to INN on their 1 year anniversary. It's a spectacular achievement for everyone involved. I know obviously there's been a lot of work with Reef, Indy, Ogo, tons of guys, Kris. Uh, Everyone's been working really hard. So, like I said, that's kind of, I just want to give a quick update and let people know where I'm at and what I foresee is what's happening in the upcoming future. So, the first thing I want to touch on is the Ukraine war. In my opinion, this is the start of World War III, unfortunately. Um, so, we're seeing continual false flags from the Bucha massacre or Busha massacre, the more recent attempts at starting nuclear disaster, and then, of course, the missile launch that hit Poland territory that Zelensky immediately blamed on Russia, told everyone to ignore any kind of evidence um, whatsoever. Back to that idea, don't believe your own eyes. 1 plus 1 isn't equal to 2 kind of ideas. So, what we're seeing with this is continual escalation, trying to, like I said, get World War really going. Um, Unfortunately, that is the end game for the US, and I don't see any way around it, unfortunately. So, what I want to take the next few minutes to do is tell people a little bit about what you can do to start preparing yourselves for food shortages, possible electricity, power, heat, that kind of things. Because at times of war, our governments and our capitalist society essentially turns into a war devoted machine that continues to push out military equipment, which means resources will go continually to that stuff. And the typical resources we need, like food, water, will now not be in the abundance we are used to seeing. So, what I want to do here is talk to you about a little bit about self sustainable kind of living, um, alternate energy sources, um, food growing options we have. Depending on your climate, growing your food can be done outside. I live in a really northern community, so my growing season is pretty short. So, what I'm doing personally is learning hydroponics and building small systems that can grow some of the more nutrient rich foods as well as fruits, because you're going to need vitamin C, vitamin D as well, which you get from the sunlight. So during these times, maybe spend a little more time outside if you can. I mean, unless there's a nuclear disaster, then do not go outside whatsoever. But back to my point about the hydroponics is because that you can do it in a relatively low footprint, you can do it in smaller areas. You can even do it in your bedroom, perhaps, if you have extra rooms where you live. More of a communal space. That kind of stuff. You try and talk to your roommates. It's not going to be something you can just do on your own. I suggest talking to people in your neighborhood about growing different things, um, which will make the ability to trade and barter your fruits and vegetables uh, in order to grow more of one thing that you're good at, and then will help you trade with other people that might not be able to grow certain things as well. So I suggest talking to everyone at the start, maybe organizing who's going to grow what. Um, So for food, some of the more easier things to grow in hydroponics are lettuces, berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. Um, you'll have a little more trouble with root vegetables. There is ways you can do it. Um, as I build my system when I get down south, I will start to put up some videos about how to build those systems so that I can show other people how to build them. I'll draw up some schematics like Lego where it just goes piece by piece, so it's really easy to follow. Um, I'll just make this free, obviously. I'm not going to charge anyone for any of this stuff. But my biggest advice right now is to learn how to grow your own food. Look at rain barrels, or even maybe some tablets for water if the water potable isn't as good as we would like, or not up to human consumption. You want to get one of some iodine tablets, or there's sorry there is like a drinking straw tube that you can buy that filters water. They're a little more expensive. So if you have the means, something you can invest in. But for people like myself and others that don't probably have necessarily the means to buy all that stuff at once. But yeah, so you deal with your water first, and then you're also going to want to consider heat, an electrical source. Solar panels are good. They are really expensive. I'm learning how to build those myself. That's another thing I'll try and videotape as I go along. Possible alternative energy sources could be windmills. If you live by water, using the current to make generate electricity will help. What you want to do is also on with regards to the hydroponics and growing things. Some of the other things you want to maybe look at is growing things that you really like, that grow stuff that you want to eat. Don't grow stuff just because something tells you, something you read tells you you're going to need this crop. If it's something you don't eat or not going to eat, don't take up space. Find something similar that you like, or that maybe has similar nutrients, any of that kind of stuff, right? Like, like I said, don't grow stuff that you're not going to eat because you're just going to go to waste. It takes up spots in your systems or your growing beds, any of that kind of stuff. Really, you want to kind of minimize stuff, what you're growing, so that you're sustaining yourself enough. As this is not in regards to doing the group effort as well. If you're doing a group effort, organize things, talk about with amongst other people what you guys can grow. Sorry, I just kind of sidetracked there. So yes, grow things that you will definitely eat and that you will like, and that other people in your family enjoy, so that you're not wasting things. That's all I kind of wanted to say there for the hydroponics. It is fairly simple if you're willing to like spend the time reading. There's a little bit of like mixing your nutrients together to make the solution that feeds your plants. Because you don't have soil in a hydroponic system, the water is what transports the nutrients to your system. So a lot of times in hydroponic systems, if you look at the pictures, they'll have it labeled as a nutrient solution, not water. So that's what it is. It's a nutrient solution that feeds your hydroponics. So in regards to sorry, so the hydroponics is one thing. The water, I spoke of another thing. Heat sources, depending on where you are, if you can get wood to, if you have a wood fireplace, that's perfect. You can heat your house with good old wood fire. In regards to other situations, you're going to need to have, if you don't have electrical, my biggest suggestion would be getting a lot of large blankets. Some of those solar reflector blankets that they sell in car emergency kits would be another good use, because you're going to want to get as much stuff that can self-contain the heat back onto you so that you don't get cold in the colder nights, or if you're in a colder climate in general. I'm hoping nobody's going to go through any of those problems, but I'd like people to be as prepared as possible. I don't want to be getting prepper on you, but, you know, it's never a bad idea to have some supplies on hand if things get bad and rough. And the way that things are looking, World War, like I said, is coming, so any kind of preparing for sustainability you can do now will make your life easier during the harder times, which will help you with your emotions, your self-esteem, any of that kind of stuff as well. So the more we want to minimize how we live, but we want to be sustainable to keep our spirits up, help and be able to help other people, because other people are going to be struggling during these times as well. So what I'm always preaching is unity amongst the masses. It's always going to be unity that's going to keep us going strong. It's going to get us through a lot of bad times that likely are coming. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully things just work out and the world becomes a better place and everything's gravy. Unfortunately, it doesn't ever seem to work like that, but I can hope. But that's all I got to say for now. I love everyone. Keep living free. Keep on top of the right side of the soil. Love you all.
I enjoy it. I like it better